Okay, so this video might be quick. I just want to clarify a couple of things that I forgot to mention in my Tokyo Ghoul re-analysis I made yesterday. And many have been asking me a couple of questions. They've been a little bit confused about the entire Touka situation with her devouring the hamburger and why she's not choosing to eat human meat instead. Because actually a human would still be able to consume, human meat. Even though it's taboo and fucked up, a human could still consume human meat. So many have been questioning, like, why doesn't Touka do that? Like, why? Well, I want to explain a couple of things of why Touka's doing these certain things, why she's eating, like, regular human food, why she's not using RC cell suppressants, so on and so forth. So, first thing I want to go into is the fact of what led to this situation in the first place and what Touka is doing. Touka is eating human food for her baby inside of her, Kaneki and Touka's baby. Now, obviously, from what we know from prior information that was established in Tokyo Ghoul, we know that it is possible for a human mother to have a half-ghoul, half-human child. We have seen it with Eto. Eto is a perfect example. However, from what we found out is if it's a ghoul mother, the ghoul mother would mistaken the child within her and devour the child. So it's kind of like the body would mistaken the child for a big bundle of RC cells and devour it. That's what the body would do. So a ghoul mother would not necessarily work because the child would die. And so that is only the reason why a human mother could actually work for a half-ghoul. It's because she could eat human meat. It's taboo, but she has no chance of accidentally devouring the child inside of her. So that's how Eto is able to come about and be conceived. So what Touka is doing is she's doing something that is very risky, very dangerous, and honestly, we don't even know if it's going to work at the end of the day. She doesn't know, but she's doing something for her child, what she is willing to do for her child, and so she is willing to harm herself, go through suffering for 8+ to 9 months just for this child, and even at the cost of probably giving up her own life. That is how far Touka would go. We know from prior events in Tokyo Ghoul, Touka has experience with eating human food. We have seen it in cases when she was interacting with her friend, her best friend, Yoriko. Yoriko, when Touka used to go to school with her, she would constantly be given food. Yoriko was like, here, have this, have some food, eat this. And Touka, being a ghoul, obviously she couldn't reveal her identity, because if her identity was given up, obviously she'd be hunted down and killed. So she had to eat food. She had to, disguise herself and, mix in with humankind. However, Touka's relationship with Yoriko was very different from the normal ghoul and human relationship. She really cared for her friend. She even went as far as to eat food that honestly, she didn't even need to eat. For instance, if her friend came over and gave her food, like, here you go, eat this, I came over for you to eat this, she would eat it even if nobody was watching her, just to respect her friend's wishes. That's how much she cared for Yoriko, her best friend, and she really respected her, so she would harm herself and ruin her body just to eat human food and something that her friend made her. So, Touka has experience with something like this, of how to keep something down, and even though it inflicts great harm to her body, she does it because of respect for the people she cares about. One thing I do want to point out, which is a little bit off topic from what this, video is about, I just want to point out that I really love how much Ishida has improved. I mean, I know I'm going to be showing panels and stuff, and so I'm going to probably pull up a Yoriko panel here. Like, this is from, part 1 Tokyo Ghoul Yoriko, and then look at, Tokyo Ghoul Re-Yoriko. Like, just the difference in art and how much Ishida Sui has improved is just insane. Just look at the improvement. Like, holy crap, can you believe this is the same artist, the same writer? I mean, damn, it looks so good. Oh yes, another thing I do want to point out too is also when Yoriko came over to give Touka some food, Yoriko is actually very aware of Kaneki's existence. Like, you see Yoriko noticed Kaneki when, Kaneki was with Touka, and Yoriko got the wrong idea, like, holy crap, they must be going out, they must be dating. As we know in the recent events of Tokyo Ghoul Re, everybody knows who Kaneki is. He's a fugitive, everybody knows that he's a traitor, and so obviously someone like Yoriko, she probably knows who Kaneki is. She knows and loves her friend Touka, so she most likely knows who Kaneki is and the relationship Touka had with him, so she automatically knows that Touka is a ghoul and stuff. So, just with all of these things right there, it's really cool that how Ishida's been building this up behind the scenes for such a long period of time. But anyways, getting back on topic though, with Touka eating this food, it is shown that she has weakened her body to where she can't properly heal. For instance, let's go to an example of when Touka was fighting Tsukiyama Shu in the earlier part of Tokyo Ghoul Part 1. When Touka was there to save Kaneki and help out Nishiki and all of that, and Kimi, Touka was on a diet of actually eating regular human food. She was eating Yoriko's food, which considerably weakened her body, and she suffered a wound from Tsukiyama in this fight, and she was not able to properly heal at all. And so she was actually forced to bite into Kaneki before she could even fight Tsukiyama and win. So that's how bad her body got, the shape it was in. She was not even able to properly heal, a standard thing that ghouls can do. Normally, ghouls, what we have seen throughout the series, if they have a major injury, they could probably heal it in a couple of seconds, maybe a couple of minutes, maybe sometimes a days, it just depends. But Touka, which does have insane regeneration, she has regenerated quite a bit before and really fast, she couldn't do that because of the diet she currently had. So it shows what effect human food has on a ghoul's body. Now, we move over to present day with what Touka is currently doing. She has a child inside of her, and she knows what happens to a child inside of her that is half ghoul, half human. She knows that the child will be accidentally digested and devoured by her body. She doesn't want that to happen, but that will happen regardless. That's just how the body works. And so to stop that, she's trying to make it to where her body is in a state to where it cannot devour her child. Why doesn't she just use, RC cell suppressants? Well, that's the thing, though. You can look at RC cell suppressants as, like, some chemicals, drugs and stuff. It's like injecting your child with, like, cocaine or something when you're, they're in your stomach when you're pregnant. That's basically what RC cells might be equivalent to. Maybe Touka doesn't want to do that because it can have negative effects on her child within her. But regardless if it's that or not, we don't know. The point stands is RC cell suppressants wouldn't necessarily help at all, because even if she took those, she would still need to eat. She would still need to eat to survive. And so it wouldn't really work. And the whole purpose of this is Touka to considerably weaken her body to where it cannot devour the child. And so what she's doing here is, when she eats the food, she is hurting her body, destroying her insides, but the baby is able to eat this food. And it's lowering her RC cell level count down to the point to where she can't heal. She's weak as a human being. She cannot fight back. And so that would mean that Touka's at a point where she's so vulnerable, if she was to get, like, impaled, she would die because she is that weakened in that state because of what she is doing. But because of her in that state, the baby would survive because her body wouldn't accidentally be tricked into devouring the child. So yeah, that's what I wanted to clarify for anyone that did not understand the aspect of why Touka's having to do this and the importance of it and why she's willing to go this far. Just want to let you all know that. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.